Hi, I'm Karen Gordon, and this is Ear to the Ground. Scott Bradshaw has been part of the Toronto bar scene since the early 80s. He's the leader of Scott v. Sympathy, one of Toronto's most popular bands. Scott's music is a mix of folk and heavy, almost metal-style guitars. This gives his introspective lyrics a dark and even mysterious tone. Scott v. Sympathy has released 2 records independently, and they're so good that more than one critic has wondered in print why this band does not have a major record deal yet. Well, who knows what's in the cards, but for now, they're one of Canada's most satisfying indie bands. Here's Scott v. Sympathy on Ear to the Ground.
Can you catch that poster there? Brantford boy comes home to rave reviews, although the local paper, the Brantford Expositor, wouldn't even write about me. They said I wasn't big enough.
Yeah, speaking of foreign language, worried about friends that we've never known. This might be a salvation. I've heard crazier things explained before. Well, you know I'm not a stranger. You know things aren't quite the same. I remember again.
I wasn't very good at sports. I was sort of not too coordinated. I was always sort of one of the last people to get picked for the teams and such. And I found if I got the guitar going and that gave me something a little different in the town from some of my friends, and a little more personal integrity or something to work towards. And I think that's why I was drawn towards music, because there wasn't a lot of people doing it. And, you know, watching the Beatles on TV and stuff, and watching that whole rock phenomena that came out of the age I grew up in.
I remember again.
Here I am, back in my old hometown, Brantford, Ontario, where I grew up, lived in the same house down near the Grand River, practiced in the same basement with different musicians, learned how to play music here. Well, I guess I was more interested in the record store and the music scene that I could find in this town, whereas I wasn't playing organized sports or hockey. You know, I wasn't the next Wayne Gretzky. I hoped I was going to be the next Bob Dylan or something. I was so bad that one time I was practicing, or we were doing some sort of vocal thing on a tape recorder in my friend's basement, and I was doing some vocal overdubs, and his mother came down and knocked on the door and was very concerned that one of us was hurt or something. Actually, like, what's wrong down here? It's okay, Mom. He's just trying to sing.
I won't change a single thing. Standing up here on the stage and sing. I won't change and I won't fight. Won't even lose my appetite. I won't change has come me long. She's 70 races on a corner of Queens. Real mutation, somebody's dream. She's writing down words you can read anytime. Not no need for sacrifice. Won't take anyone's advice. I cut loose, many ties that may hold. I won't listen to your words. I don't have to hear or learn. You don't have my trust, 'cause I must go. When it hits like poverty hits, you ain't got no place to go. Well, you can walk all night in the market. Listen to that radio. It's thundering down like headlights flashing on a pirate state that night. And you're standing there, blood in your hair, till somebody turns on the light. I won't change. I won't change. I won't change. And dark.
Oh yeah, you gotta love vinyl. I mean, I remember actually there's one point in my life where I actually wanted to look like Batman, which is kind of sad now when I think about it. Oh, Elton John, he's pretty good. But if I had a mustache, I might end up looking like him. So it could be worse. Oh, yes. Oh, everybody's favorite. The mums and dads. That man's a very big influence on my career. Oh.
Stage and sing, I won't change a single line in there. I've been watching you going through the motions like a hypnotized. Common band of thieves, I've been following you ever since you can remember. If you only knew the things that I believe. Watching you going through the motions like a hypnotized. Common band of things, I'm following you since I can remember. If you only knew that I've been here. When the day goes the other way, well, the night is there anyway.
I've never thought that I thought like other people at all. You know, I've never thought that I thought the way other people do, but I think that's an alienation thing that everybody goes through. I think everybody deep down thinks that they're this one original thinker type, and I think we've all got a bit of each other inside us, so that might be a lot of hogwash.
Stuck in a house, just drinking water. Radio drowning its waves. I'm kicking a chair at the end of a video shoot. I had my new shoes on in it. It's not raining, but the cold damn air can remember what a winter night time was. All the dust moves into the dawn. I'd rather drink with the poets and live with the afterthought.
I'm getting a little more bitter and jaded as the days go by, but I'm pretty vulnerable, and I don't know if it's my small town upbringing or whatever, but I tend to trust people right away, and I tend to believe anything that anyone tells me. Like, I'm very gullible, which, I don't know, that's where my art comes from as well, so I wouldn't say that that's a downside or downfall.
I'd rather drink with the poets and live with the afterthought. I'd rather drink with the poets and live with the afterthought.
My first kind of summer job that I had in Brantford was at the York Farms canning factory, a very delightful little job. And I remember at one point taking a pitchfork, and there were these big bales of, believe it or not, wieners that we would we would dump onto a conveyor belt, and they would go into the cans of wieners and beans eventually. And a lot of sad, scary things happened in that plant. I would say Willie P. Bennett is an original thinker. He's almost my mentor.
Stuck in a house, just drinking water. Radio drowning in its own way. Kicking a chair at the end of a video shoot. I had my new shoes on in it. It's not raining.
What appeals to me about a writer like Willie P. Bennett is just the purity and the purity of thought and emotion, first and foremost, and just the honesty in the whole thing. It doesn't seem like a made-up entertainment showbiz kind of thing. It's more honest. Like, you know, he is an entertainer, but I think first and foremost he has the ability to touch people on a very human level.
Not raining, but the cold damp air can remember what a winter in that town was. All the dust moves into the dark. I'd rather drink with the poet than live with the afterthought. I'd rather drink with the poet than live with the afterthought. I'd rather drink with the poet than live with the afterthought. Big Willie P. Bennett ending.
I'm a song person, and even though I like different styles of music, I think the song itself is the most important aspect of what I'm trying to do. And I have a band now that feels the same, that they want to back up the song and the singer, which is great.
This is the fifth Beatle.
I'm Ed, and I'm the man.
He's Fast Eddie. We don't make a move without the lad, because
Yeah, any legalities, any lawsuits you're thinking about?
Nice, talk to me.
Speak to Mr. Skira.
Yes, I'm Ed. I put out the first 2 albums, and we're going to the top.
I'm very proud of the current lineup of the band I have, because I've always been pretty jealous of people that have regular bands and get that chemical thing, the chemistry going with the people within and have a lot of input. And now I've got a band that, you know, we practice regularly, and we're becoming, you know, kind of like some sort of dysfunctional family unit, which I kind of like.
Please believe me, sympathy. Well, don't you think I know that I'm unpure? Well, please believe the pain I feel in empathy. 'Cause every man must shed another's tears. Don't you think I know that I'm unpure? Please believe the pain I feel in empathy. Every man must shed another's tear. Don't accuse the guilty of remembering. They couldn't help but see. Please believe the guiltiness on obsession. Always falling down upon every day. Don't build any monuments to honor. Another day of mute as I turn the other cheek and pass the bottle of the soul and set yourself on fire. sympathy. Every man must shed another tear. Don't accuse the guilty of remembering things they couldn't help but see. Please believe the guilt in this obsession, falling down upon his knees. Don't build any monuments modern. Another day of few desires. Turn the other cheek and pass the bottle. Have the soul and set yourself on fire.
On that way, and we did it in Brantford, down in Eagle Place, and set the band up in the front porch of the house that I grew up in, and had my dad sitting in an easy chair out on the front lawn, sort of surveying the whole situation. And since that time, my dad passed away in early this year, and it was great to document that because he was very, even though he always, he wanted me to have a straight job, of course, like most parents, but he was really behind what I did musically, even though he didn't quite probably know why he was behind it. He used to let my band practice in his basement, for years on end and make so much noise, and he couldn't even hear the hockey game, but he would put up with it, and yeah, I appreciate that now more than I ever did, probably.
Well, I was desperate, living with a reality clause. A vision was limited and lost in the fog. As the evening calls, I can still recall her name. Think of the final loss, feel the cost, but you must take it your own way, your own way.
This year is the year of the rooster, and apparently it's supposed to be a very good year for me where I, get a lot of things done. And yeah, last year was the year of the monkey, whereas it's one of those years where apparently everything that comes to a head and everything you thought was there and secure in your life falls out from under you. And I definitely had a year like that. And I'm sort of sorting through the rubble right now and coming out of it on my feet, I guess. But just, you go through a lot of personal trauma, and you either learn from it or you just stay in that one place and don't deal with it. And it can ruin your life if you don't deal with it.
Think of the final loss, yeah, deal with the cost. But you must pay it your own way. Your own way. I have the power to choose, but she has the right to confuse. But you can't hold on, you can't hold on that way. You can't hold on, you can't hold on that way. Hey,
I've always wanted to do this, and I've never been one of these people that have said, okay, I'll give it, say, the next 5 years, and then if that doesn't work out, I'll, go into dentistry or whatever. I've never really put those limits on myself time-wise. I wanted to do this since I was 8 years old, and lately I just figured, I've realized that I'm doing it, and that's quite an eye-opener, to realize that you're actually doing what you wanted to do.
pick up your heels and let it go. Don't worry about the undertow. Maybe out of sight is out of mind. When you drop right down to the last dime, or give it a day, you get a better night. One half of the house is in distress. It was only something in my mind. Something in my mind.
know that Brantford, Ontario was the chip wagon capital of North America? Started out not far from here on the banks of the Grand River. Little ox cart that I think it was Mr. Peabody set up, an old ox cart on the banks of the Grand River and somehow got a grease fire together there with some wood and started selling French fries to the locals. About 1817. I'm gonna go order some right now. Check out the menu. Any idea what a brownie burg is? I never heard of that one. Piece of bacon for 50 cents. I think I'll ask for a half order of cheese. We could do that. Hi.
Hi.
Can I get a couple of small of your best chip wagon French fries?
My best chip wagon French fries. Okay.
World famous.
World famous. All right.
And one small pepper. And a glass of tepid water.
Tepid water.
Is that from the Grand River, that water?
No. Hope not. No. It's from Paris.
From Paris?
Yeah. It's good water.
Brought in on truck?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, you have to pay the GST out of this area? Not this way? I'm afraid of that. Oh well. And it comes quick. No waiting. They put the vinegar right. No, I guess you put the vinegar on yourself. Some places they'll put the vinegar.